Welcome to a new Champion Spotlight. Today, we're going to talk about one of our more unique champions. Let's give it up for our stony-eyed sorceress, Mithrala Lifebane. First things first, you should know that Mithrala can only be summoned from champion fragments, and those fragments only come from Hydra clan boss battles. No summons or champion fusion. Trust me, Mithrala is worth the effort. She has a lot of general utility along with a few extremely rare, even unique debuffs. Oh, and her void affinity means those debuffs will be equally effective no matter what enemies she faces. Let's take a closer look. Mithrala's default skill, Libation of Pain, attacks 2 times at random and has a high chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns on each hit. It doesn't hit hard, but 2 poison debuffs on a basic attack is a great thing to have when you're fighting bosses. Mithrala's second skill, Sigil of Toxic Glory, is where her real strength begins to show. This skill gives her entire team 60% increased defense and 50% increased attack, then hits the enemy team with an AoE attack which places a Hex debuff. While that attack might not seem like much on its own, the buffs she puts out are a huge help to her and her team. And the Hex debuff not only works into her passive, but is also a pretty rare debuff and helps out in quite a few places, not to mention the Hydra itself. Brim Cylix, which is Mithrala's third skill, is also pretty straightforward but no less awesome for it. She cleanses all debuffs from her team, then places a 25% strength and buff on them and a shield equal to 30% of her max HP. That's about all there is to say about this skill other than it's great. Not only does Mithrala do away with negative effects, but she also gives your champions a bit of protection. This kind of kit is awesome basically everywhere. But even after all that fantastic utility, we're only just now reaching the very best part. Mithrala's passive skill, Gaze of Stone, is her signature feature, and it is fantastic. First, whenever an enemy under a Hex debuff tries to attack her, there's a 50% chance that enemy gets petrified. If a hexed enemy attacks one of Mithrala's allies, that number goes down to 30%, which is still a lot more than 0%, especially considering what Petrification does. Petrification strips all buffs off its target and blocks any other incoming buffs. The petrified champion also skips a turn as if they were stunned, meaning their cooldowns also don't refresh. Lastly, petrified champions also takes 60% less damage from everything except bombs. Bombs, meanwhile, deal 4 times their normal damage, opening up some insane combos. A killer debuff, no mistake, and Mithrala is currently the only champion that can use it. And yet, we're not done with this amazing passive. Gaze of Stone doesn't just let Mithrala petrify people. It also increases her resistance stat by an amount equal to her accuracy. I probably don't need to explain how much easier that makes your life when choosing her artifact setup. To recap, Mithrala is one of those Swiss Army knife champions. She has a tool for almost any situation. Do you want poison in a boss battle? She can do that. Need someone to clear a slew of nasty debuffs from your team? She's got your back and will even shield her buddies on top of that. Want someone with good crowd control? Mithrala just keeps on giving. Of course, being able to petrify enemies is the real linchpin of her kit, so keep those hexes up and have a bombardier standing by to take advantage. Mithrala will be a great addition to your arena teams. She'll be invaluable in Hydra battles too, or any boss fight for that matter. Though bosses themselves are immune to petrification, their minions aren't. In Faction Wars and the Doom Tower though, she'll absolutely shine, letting her take full advantage of her entire kit. When it comes to her artifact setup, you only have one priority: accuracy. You really need those debuffs to land, so don't get distracted. Max that stat out. Other than that, you don't really need any specific sets to make her shine, as long as you pay attention to the overall stats. You want her to survive for as long as possible, so increasing her HP is a solid option. That will make the shield Mithrala places on her team better as well. You can also give her a regeneration set if your team lacks healing. Naturally, don't forget about speed, but that's one piece of advice that applies to almost all champions. Using shiny new protection artifacts that drop from Hydra reward chests would be a great idea. With how many buffs Mithrala can cast, a chance to protect them from removal and theft would be really useful. But other than that, just go wild and test different builds. And that's about it for the Spotlight. Go check out our Hydra preview if you want to know more about the clan boss fight where you can get Mithrala's fragments. And good luck! Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. Until next time, happy raiding!